today we're going to be looking at a whole range of e.l.f. products. I have a heap here. Unfortunately, I don't have the foundation. It didn't arrive, and I had all the eyeshadow palettes, but unfortunately a couple of them broke in transit. So note to the postie, please don't throw my boxes around. e.l.f. has got 2 primers that you could use. Well, it's got more than 2, but these 2 are what we're looking at today. There's the matte primer and then the luminous primer. I'm just going to apologize right up front now because the dog want their breakfast, but I'm going to make them wait. So Paris the Papillon, she's not too impressed about it. I'm going to use the luminous one. I'm just going to use my finger. Can you see the luminosity that's coming up already from it? It's so pretty. This is just lovely. It's going on so smoothly. If you found that you were sort of normal everywhere except for your T-zone got oily, what you could do is you could put the luminous one on your outside of your face and then just bring the matte one down your T-zone. Because I don't have the e.l.f. foundation, I'm going to use the Wet n Wild, and this is in the colour Soft Ivory. I did try to get it all here. I don't think I've used this before. I'm going to use a sponge. So it's just a damp sponge. If you use a dry sponge, and I know some people do, but it will absorb a lot of your product. Looks a tiny bit too light. However, when it comes to a foundation, I'd rather it be too light than too dark. It's a lot easier to fix the foundation up, adding bronzers and things like that, if it's too light, than it is to fix it up if it's too dark. This is the Camo Concealer, the e.l.f. Camo Concealer, and this one is in light peach. I wanted a sort of something with a bit of yellowy, tiny bit of pink in it, because if I've got dark under eye, going back to your colour wheel, you want to be putting on something of a pinky, yellowy, salmony colour, depending on the colour that your under eyes go. So if your under eyes are blue, then you want to sort of compensate that with a salmony colour. And if they're green, you probably want to compensate that with a yellow. My eyes sort of sit somewhere in between, but I can't say I've ever tried lipstick. I know a lot of people put lipstick under their eyes. I haven't done it. I'm not saying not to do it. Just going to put whatever's left on my sponge because there was a fair bit of concealer on my eyelids as well. Moving on. So, face powders. This one I had already. Now, this is just a translucent powder with a sponge on the other side. The latest powder just comes in a pack like this. Prime and Stay Finishing Powder. I'm just going to go in and set that foundation. And that's instantly put some colour back into my face. If you can see what I mean by it's easier to make it look better if you've gone too light than if you go too dark. What I have is this Illuminating Palette for bronzing or contouring. I'm going to use a combination of these 2, I think. It's not looking cakey, just adding a little bit at a time. On my end, it looks okay. Now, I don't have a e.l.f. blush because that broke as well. Let's use Maybeline. So far, so good. Now, we're going to go back into this palette here, which was the one we just used before, the Illuminating Palette. I want to try with a denser brush. The denser your brush, the more product you'll pick up, so the more intense the result's going to be. Let's go into the first one here. Yeah, that's pretty impressive. There you go. It's not glittery, which I like. So if I pop it on my top lip, you can definitely see it happening there. And then if I wanted to accentuate my cheekbones even more, because I've got a denser brush, I can just go into that and then just go down like that. I also got an illuminating powder. I'm going to use my Real Techniques brush. I'm just going to see what that looks like. That's really, I think you can definitely say that. I'll just put some a little bit here. Yeah, huge difference. The palette with the 4 powders in it, it worked. But if you wanted something that was a bit stronger, this one here is definitely a good choice. This actually came in a bundle, so It arrived in this box here, so it had this in it, and then it also had a brush. I'm just going to quickly go off camera and do my eyebrows, and I will be right back. Hi, I'm back. Now that this had a little bit of time to set, it probably looks a tiny bit yellow. It's probably because of the foundation color. What I really want to know is how good are the products and how well do they perform. That's the most important thing. The other thing is I found clear eyelash gel and or brow gel. Let's use it on the brows because I do like to set my eyebrows once I've done them. It's a very big one for eyebrows, but I guess you get them done quicker, don't you? Lipstick I'm going to use today is just a L'Oreal lipstick. If you're going to wear a mask, I would stay clear of putting any sort of moisturising products on your lips at all before you wear a mask. Try and find something that's going to dry down. The little palettes that I got that weren't broken were this one here, which is called Berry Bad. This one here, which is called Pumpkin Pie. This more neutral coloured one, which is called Cream and Sugar. Might actually use the Cream and Sugar colours. The other things that e.l.f. have brought out for the liquid glitter shadows. So this one here is called Disco Queen. This one here, Flirty Birdie. Just to give you an idea, that's Flirty Birdie. This is Disco Cream. And this one here, it's probably more a topper, I would think. If you just wanted that glitter look either on your eyelids alone or over the top of another colour. It depends what sort of a look you're going for. Let's get cracking with our bite size cream and sugar. Let's go into the first colour here. And just tap off the excess. So I'm just gonna go into the crease of my eye with this. Seems to have a pretty good payout in terms of colour. It's a very light colour. I'm going to bring it up quite high. I'm going to do the other side. I'm going to go into the brown. Okay, so I'm into the brown and I'm going to pop that on the outside corner. I'm just going to keep building that up, bending the brush upwards as well as blending it into that corner there, and keep adding a little bit at a time. And then I'm going to do the same thing on the other side. It's easy to use. It's blending very nicely. I'm not having any trouble with making it blend. I don't have any fallout on my face yet. Bring it up to the brow bone because I have a fair bit of space here. But if you don't have that much space on your eye, then just take it up to wherever you feel comfortable. Whatever's left on my brush, I'm just flicking out to make sure that I've got those outer edges all done. This is just a Morphe brush. It's an M416. It's a tiny, tiny little brush. I'm just going to go into that brown, right? And I'm just going to take that under the waterline of my lower lashes, and I'm going to take it all the way across, and I'm just going to blend it out. Just going to keep working that in, and I'll take it right into the corner there, and I'll take this one right into the corner as well. So we're going all the way under and across. And then on the other side, we're going to do the same thing. Just make sure it's all even. This is a Morphe M124 brush, and I'm going to go into the second colour in the palette, which is here. And I'm going to load my brush up. Depending on the intensity, you could even spray your brush with some setting spray. And I'm just going to go from the inside corner. Look at these colours. Elf, I'm impressed. I was not expecting that. Look at that colour. I'll do the other side. And if you have slightly hooded eyes, what you can do is you can create a fake crease. So the crease will naturally be where your brush wants to go. But what you can do is you can take this colour up a little bit higher if you feel that it gets sort of lost a little bit when you open your eyelids all the way up. I'm going to try the next colour, which is the colour in the palette we haven't tried yet, which is this one here. I'm just going to put that between the brown and this other colour. So we've got, it's sort of in the middle of my eyelid, effectively. So we've got sort of a gradient effect happening. So this colour here, and then I'm going to pop that right there in the middle. And I'm just blending it downwards. I'm just going to get a little bit more of it, and I'm just popping it in the middle of my eye. And then what I'm going to do with this colour, while it's still on my brush, just to bring everything together, is just go above the crease, and with this one colour and this same brush, and just blend everything together above the crease, sort of blend it in. Go back into this highlighter that we had, and I'm just going to put that on the inner corner just to give it, see the bit of a extra something that you get from that. And I'm going to put a little bit just above the brow bone on each side. Next, for mascara. So e.l.f. have come out with a waterproof length and voluming mascara, which is supposed to be non-clumping. I was reading about this mascara earlier, and it is specifically for lengthening, volumizing your lashes. The wand is quite small, and I have not used it before. It is waterproof. And the other thing is that all of e.l.f.'s products are actually vegan and cruelty-free. Certainly not clumpy. So this is obviously a mascara that needs a couple of coats, but it's definitely separating my lashes, and I'm trying to do it as close to here as I can so you can see. I think this would be especially good if anybody had short lashes. Definitely buildable. I really like this mascara actually. So what would I compare this to? So I'm going to compare this to the Charlotte Tilbury mascara. There you go. The Charlotte Tilbury Fat Lashes Mascara is very, very similar. The wand is very, very different, but the look you get is very, very similar. So finally, I'm going to use the e.l.f. setting spray. It says here that it helps prevent colours from running or fading and helps to keep your makeup in place all day. The lightweight, oil-free formula helps soothe the skin with key ingredients aloe, green tea, cucumber, and vitamin A, C, and E. If you've got to put makeup on and you can get a brand that's got skincare infused in it, then all the better for you. Oh, that comes out so fast and so good. I could just keep doing it. That is our review of our e.l.f. products. And I'm sorry I didn't have the foundation. When I get it, I will certainly let you know and we will try it out. The Wet n Wild foundation is fantastic. I don't have an issue with it. It's just perhaps the colour's a little bit off for me. Thanks for watching, and have a lovely day, and I look forward to seeing you again very soon. Please subscribe if you haven't already, and don't forget to follow if you're watching this on Instagram. Thanks so much. Bye.